Hi. Okay, so I'm here with Jordan Ruth. She is a kindergarten teacher here at Foster Heights with me, and she is the teacher that I have been working with and will be evaluating and co-teaching a lesson with tomorrow. So we're just doing our pre-observation interview the day before so that everything is fresh and I can take some good notes ready to go into tomorrow. So, Jordan, let's talk a little bit about your lesson. Like I said, she is kindergarten. I'm a fourth grade teacher, so it's a little bit different dynamic. So it will be interesting. What standards will you address in your lesson?
We have a few standards that we are going to be using. A lot of it has to do with writing, pulling details and using different types of materials to pull our information. So we are working on describing relationships between the illustration and the text. A lot of my friends can read sight words, but they have a hard time with the bigger words, so I'm going to have pictures as well, so we're going to see how they correlate between the images and the text, see if they can compare and contrast them to see what they need. We'll also be looking at asking and answering questions and finding the answer within the text and the images, and then using drawings and visual displays to describe additional information. We are going to be working on our profession that we want when we are older. I do have kindergarten, so it's a good idea to get them started in what they would like to be. They got to choose what they wanted to do, so for tomorrow I have the materials ready for them. And that is going to be our standards.
I think they'll enjoy that. So from those standards, what I can statements have you created for this particular lesson that I will be with?
I have 4 I cans.
Okay.
First one is I can describe in writing what profession I would like to do when I grow up.
Okay.
Second one is I can communicate with my table mates that also want that same profession, because I'm going to group them together and share information that I have found with my table mates. I can ask and answer questions to gain knowledge of the profession I want when I grow up. And then I can add details to my sentences. This is going to be our review I can, because we have been adding details for the past month.
I like how you have a review one in there. It's always good to go back to things you've already covered. So in the pre-conference questionnaire, I asked you to look at the Kentucky Framework for Teaching and identify a needed area of growth. And this is Jordan's first year, so she's been doing K-TIP this year and is very familiar with the framework through that process. And you chose differentiation, which is a great goal, and I think a lot of teachers are always striving to better their differentiation. So how exactly will you be exhibiting differentiation in this lesson?
For differentiation, I'm going to have high and lows working together, so then that way I and you can rotate between the tables and work with those who need more one-on-one support, and then also giving those who can use one-on-one support the opportunity to work with their peer friends versus immediately coming to us. So that is going to be my goal.
Awesome. That sounds great. And so that kind of answers a question I've got later on for how I can assist you, but we'll get to that.
Perfect.
So how, you kind of already answered this, but how exactly will you engage the students? What is the structure of your lesson going to look like from beginning to end? Whole group, small group?
Yes. In the beginning, we'll talk about whole group first. I'll explain the materials on their desk, what the ICANs are, and what the outcome is going to be of our lesson. And then we'll break into small groups. So they'll be working at their table with their table mates, the other kids that wanted the same profession as them. And then if we need to break it down even further, you and I will either pull students that are not focused and are chit-chatting with their friends, or the friends that do need extra support will be pulled, and then we will send them back to their group so they can share what they have, so we can come back to that small group. And then tomorrow or the day after we do this is when we'll break into whole group again.
Awesome. I like the options there. I think that'll be good. And I like how you're going to go over the I cans, even for kindergarten. It's good to know where we're going, what our end in mind is.
We will repeat about 1,000 times throughout this lesson what the focus is.
Good, very good. So we decided on the one teach, one assist co-teaching strategy. So again, you've already kind of mentioned it, that when we go into the small groups and if some are chit-chatting or need a little extra support, that's one way I can assist you to pull some one or two at a time. So is there anything else that I can do specifically in that lesson to assist you?
Just constantly reminding them to stay focused, that this is what our goal is. Maybe if you see a group that is chit-chatting a little more, pull a material that you see and be like, oh, look at this one. Describe what you are seeing. Use those descriptive words because we're adding details to the sentences. And then again, pulling for those who are needing extra assistance.
Absolutely. That all sounds really good. Okay, so just a few things that I want you to be aware of. You mentioned, I asked you what you feel your greatest strengths and weaknesses are. And so for your strengths, and I have had the opportunity to observe Jordan already just outside of this, and so I agree with this. You said that your greatest strengths are your environment, being flexible, and your relationship with your kids. And that is evident in all throughout the school, in the hallways, and just how you interact with them. So I think that's spot on, and that's great, and those are so important. And some of your weaknesses, which we all have weaknesses and growth areas that we want to strive toward making better. And you said that preparing differentiated lessons is a growth area, using data from formative assessments to reteach a concept, and that's, I feel, definitely one of mine also. And then organization. So those are just some things that I'll kind of be looking for, and I'll try to help you out as much as I can with that.
Perfect.
And using the data from whatever your formative assessment is tomorrow for our lesson, and going on from there. So that all sounds really good.
Perfect.
So any questions for me?
Nope, get ready.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so
kindergarten.
much. Thank you.